Sit down or stand up, students. It doesn't really matter. Class is in session now and forever. Ever, ever, ever.
Wolftelligence!
Welcome back to the podcast. My name is R.E. In this episode, you will never, ever stop learning and growing. The importance of learning and why learning will never stop. First of all, why would you ever want to stop learning and growing? Do you think that you'll just reach a point at some point in your life where you'll just know it all? You'll never have anything more to learn? No. If you stayed the same forever, what fun would that be? What fun would it be if nothing ever evolved, nobody ever evolved, you never got older, you stayed the same age your entire life, you didn't learn anything new, you didn't have any new life experiences? What fun would that be? What would you gain from that? That's just thinking way too short term. Maybe you could do that for 20 years, 50 years, 100. What about a million years? What about 10 million years? What about 500 million years? It's a long time, but maybe people do live that long. Or maybe not people. Maybe not people here, but that's a completely different rant. But we learn best slow and steady and through repetition. Through repetition, 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 repetition. It works so well with magical mind melodies, reprogramming your mind. That's what I talked about in the first episode. Just repeating these magical melodies through your mind. They're going to keep looping. You gotta have patience if you want to be patience. That goes on your mind every single day, every single day, every single day. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself, but everybody has a unique learning style, a way in which they learn best. Some people read books, some people watch YouTube videos, go to class, do writing, poetry, but one thing that's in common with all these things is the repetition, the showing up, the putting in the reps. If you want to get really good at something, if you want to get good at, say, shooting free throws, shooting three-pointers in basketball, repetition, repetition, repetition. You're not going to do it by reading a book about how to shoot. Maybe that'll help your technique just a little, getting mentored, but actually doing it and practicing it. And that's the same thing with learning anything. We learn by doing. That's really all it is. You can learn very effectively through books, but you have to embody what you learn, what you've read in the books to show that you actually learned it. And that's why certain systems of schooling don't work for everybody. We're in kind of this manufacturing cookie cutter system where everybody has to fit in a certain box, and this kind of dims our desire. We all have this desire to learn when we're young, and school often puts out that flame. It kind of just dumps a bucket of water on our flame, our desire to learn, our desire for knowledge, and we rekindle it later in life, hopefully, like I did, by finding things that we truly enjoy learning. For me, it was psychology, personal development, because these things could actually help me. I didn't see how learning about random biology or parts of the human body would help me, because I'm not going to become a doctor. But why am I learning about this stuff in 6th grade when I could be learning about emotional intelligence and journaling and how to channel my emotions? But I got to the point where I am now, and that's why I want to try to help people and teach people. And again, I seek them and I get benefit out of them. A lot of people don't get benefit out of really anything that they learn in school, which is sad considering, especially in college when you're spending all this money. But even when you're younger, you're not spending money, but you're spending your time. Your time could be better used doing other things. Some people may argue, well, if kids don't have to go to school, they're going to be delinquents and unstructured and all this time. That may be true. If their parents don't give them structure, if their parents don't teach them all this stuff. Again, I'm getting off tangent. It's a different rant. But what is the benefit of all the random info that you learn in school? That you memorize for your multiple choice test, and then you get the grade and you forget it all, and it wasn't useful to you anyways. But for the stuff that you learn for your own sake, for your own growth, for your own benefit, you don't memorize that stuff. That stuff comes naturally, and that stuff comes by, you show it by embodying this stuff. So I just want to ask you a question. What truly interests you? What do you truly enjoy learning about? And are you learning about that now? Do you read books on it? Do you watch documentaries on it? Do you try to embody it every single day? What would you love to learn about every single day? If you got to make your own curriculum, if you got to choose that, definitely let me know in the comment section. I'm very interested just to hear what other people like to learn about, because most of the stuff that we really want to learn about is not taught in school. I know for me, emotional intelligence not taught in school. Why? Who knows? Who really knows? But it's something that I will continue to try to teach and try to get into the school system, but that'll never happen. And what is something that you don't think you could ever get bored by? Education is not supposed to be boring. It's supposed to be entertaining. You're supposed to be engaged in it. And I think the modern school system kind of has this all backwards, that, oh, you're supposed to sit down and shut up and sit in your chair for 8 hours. No, that's not how people learn. People aren't going to learn best by getting lectured. People learn best by doing things, making mistakes, and learning from them so they don't make the same mistakes again. And our school system doesn't encourage mistake making. Oh, you need to get a 9 out of 10 to get an A minus. You need to get a 9.5 out of 10, 95 out of 100 to get an A, to get into a good college. So then you could go, and then the cycle continues. But no, I'm ranting. I'll end the episode here, but you will never ever stop learning. Choose things that you truly enjoy learning about, that you can then teach to other people, help other people with, and that you're truly passionate about, that truly rekindle that inner fire that the schooling system may have tried to dim out. But your desire to learn will never stop.